So here we have the ingredients for chocolate icebox cake. Make sure you use the best ingredients you can find.
So in preparation for our chocolate icebox cake with vanilla wafers, I'm going to break up some of the wafers. I do it by hand. I have seen it done even with a rolling pin. You get a lot more powder or crumbs. I'll give you an example. If you just take a couple of those and crush them, it's faster, but you get a lot more crumb. And I like it made a little more with pieces in there, so I take the time to break them up one at a time. Like that. Still get crumb, just not as much. Sometimes take a piece and break it again. Here I'm going to beat an egg white in copper. Copper makes the egg white stiffen up better. Not quite stiff yet. That's pretty stiff. Okay, we're going to now prepare the whipped cream. I've got 2/3 of a cup of cream and a chilled bowl, a chilled beater, and we'll just get started. Picking up. So we'll add heaping tablespoon of powdered sugar, and we'll add a good teaspoon of vanilla. So here we have 4 ounces of Baker's Sweet. I like to make it a little better, so I'm going to add that. And I might just add a little bit of chocolate chips or something too. Just to add a little bit there. And now that's going to go in the microwave. Okay, here's the chocolate after about 80 seconds in the microwave. You got to be careful. I watched it 3 or 4 times in between. And because we don't use a double melter, you got to be real careful in the microwave. So you now are supposed to add, I think it's a tablespoon of water. I have that water warmed up so as not to harden the chocolate. Break that in there. And then you add the egg yolk. You want to cool it off just a little bit so the egg yolk doesn't cook in the warm chocolate. Okay, I've separated this. Starts to stiffen up. A good pinch of salt really brings out the flavor of the chocolate. Now we're about ready for assembly. Okay, well, we're going to assemble it now. I'm going to put the chocolate in. I have slightly warmed the pan in the leftover heat from toasting the nuts, but you could just set it in some warm water too. But if you bring a pan out of the cupboard and it's cold, a bowl I should say like this, it can be a problem. chilling down the chocolate. So we're gonna fold in our whipped cream. It's very stiff. We're gonna be very gentle. Just kind of turn it over gently. So try not to break down the whipped cream. I'm going to throw in the nuts. About 1/3 of a cup of nuts, pecans. That's looking good. I'm going to add in the stiff egg white. You can see how stiff that is. And that's going to get folded in. Just keep turning it on itself until you get a homogeneous mixture. The chocolate starts to color all of the white. Okay. Looking good. Now we're going to add the vanilla wafer crunched up pieces. This looks good. And here's our box of wafers. Now we got to coat all of those. Takes a little bit of folding on top, over and over. Push it around, break it in. Down to the bottom and bring up any of the cream that's down there. Okay, and now we're gonna get our pan. Line it with wax paper. You can use any pie plate or whatever. I use one of these pop-up plates for a layer cake, but you just sort of push that down in there and hold it with your hand for a moment, and then once you get this starting to go in there, it doesn't move around. Get the rest of that in just a minute. Pull it up on the edge and push it around, pack it in. We'll get in there and press it in. Level it out, press it in. Pretty good. Kind of level that. And we're going to cover it. I've got another piece of wax paper here. And we'll just put that in there like that. Press it down to seal out any air while it chills. And then get that nice and chilled up. That's it. We'll have chocolate icebox cake. And that's what it looks like with the wax paper trimmed up and flat and ready to go for chilling. Okay, well, this is why I use the pan like I do to pop that out and take off the top. Peel that down and ready to cut that. So I'm just going to cut in and cut a small piece. one. That can go. And then we have 2 pieces, and some people prefer it with the whipped cream on top, and other people prefer it what we call the more traditional way, which is just to drizzle some cream on there. So there you are.